How much of your energy goes into worrying about things you can't control? Be honest. The Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca taught us something profound. Freedom comes not from changing the world around us, but from changing how we respond to it. Today we're diving into their wisdom to uncover 7 secrets to let go of what you can't control. Trust me, these lessons are as relevant now as they were 2,000 years ago. Number 1. Understand the dichotomy of control. Epictetus, who is considered one of the most prominent Stoic thinkers, made the following statement: some things are up to us, and some things are not. One of the most fundamental aspects of Stoic philosophy is this contrast, which is both straightforward and profound. We learn to differentiate between the things we have control over, such as our thoughts, actions, and reactions, and the things we do not have control over, such as the actions of other people, the weather, or events that have occurred in the past. Consider this situation. The amount of your energy that is eaten by things you just cannot control is significant. The cycle of trying to exert control over something that cannot be controlled affects us all. We obsess about things beyond our control. We play back mistakes from the past in our minds, as if we could somehow change them, or we worry about how others view us. Unfortunately, there are a number of things we simply cannot control. You cannot control the weather, for instance, nor can you control the actions, attitudes, or views of other people. You may even take responsibility for them, but you should not. The past is something you can never change. You do not have to exert control over everything. Just exercise control over what is under your control. Now let's take a step back and be honest. Attempting to solve something absolutely beyond your power is something you've likely done for a considerable amount of time, possibly even for several days. You may find yourself thinking, if only I could just get them to understand, or if only the weather would cooperate, or if only I could change what happened last week. At some point in your life, having to carry that responsibility is significant. Do you know what else? How much energy are you wasting on things beyond your control? The energy is being squandered despite the fact that your hands are tied behind your back. You are constructing barriers. Let's break it down. What are your ideas, actions, and response? You are responsible for managing these. You are attempting to move a mountain with your bare hands the instant you try to exert influence over the ideas, feelings, or situations of others. The effort is exhausting. Consider these the only instruments you actually possess. You have the ability to mold them. It's as if you suddenly unlock the power to impact your reality when you aim your energy toward these things. This isn't because you can control everything, but because you can choose how you react to anything. It is as if you are switching a mental switch when you accept the dichotomy of control. Here is the secret. Feelings of being overpowered by the unpredictability of life give way to feelings of empowerment when you realize there is only a specific amount that you need to be concerned about. Consider anything that has been weighing on you, something that has been giving you tension, anxiety, or aggravation. Take a moment right now and think about this issue. Ask yourself, is this something I am genuinely able to alter? If not, then you should let it go. Take control of your life and break free from its hold on you. If it is something you have the ability to control, then you should act. Put in the effort you can and let go of the rest. When you try to control everything, you will experience a sense of freedom that you cannot get anywhere else. Number 2, detach from outcomes. Meditations was written by Marcus Aurelius, one of the most influential Stoic thinkers. He stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Recognize this, and you will discover the strength you need. One of the most important truths the Stoics offer us is contained in this sentence. We find ourselves striving to control the outcome of every circumstance. Plans are made, strategies devised, and efforts made. Nevertheless, when things do not go according to our expectations, we feel dissatisfied, defeated, or disappointed. The reality is, you can't make everything go the way you want, regardless of how hard you try. Certain things will simply take place in a manner beyond your ability to influence. However, you can make an effort of the highest possible quality and then let go of the need to control the outcomes. Imagine you are attempting to halt the flow of a river. No matter how hard you try, you will not be able to stop the flow of water. What you can do, however, is acquire the skills necessary to traverse the waters, flow with the current, and allow the river to lead you to its destination. Life is the same. Trying to control every aspect of your life can be exhausting. The Stoics and Marcus Aurelius, in particular, were aware that the unpredictability of life presents both a challenge and an opportunity. You will liberate yourself from unwarranted stress and disappointment if you let go of the drive to achieve a specific outcome. You grant yourself permission to simply be and trust that your efforts will bring you to your goals. I know how difficult it is to detach, particularly when we have a strong emotional investment in something. Each one of us has aspirations, objectives, and anticipations. It is essential to work toward them with a strong sense of enthusiasm. But when you detach, how can I view this situation differently? By reframing your perspective, you gain the power to transform any circumstance into an opportunity for growth and learning. Remember, it is not the events that shape your journey, but how you choose to navigate through them. yourself, from how things should turn out and let go of the outcome. You offer yourself the opportunity to enjoy the ride, regardless of what happens. An additional Stoic philosopher, Seneca, made the following statement: "It is not that we have a short time to live, rather it is that we waste a lot of it." We waste time in a number of ways, one of which is by being preoccupied with the consequences of situations that are beyond our grasp. We allow ourselves to become preoccupied with the future rather than concentrating on the present. Now, when you find that you are fixating on a certain result, whether it be a job interview, a relationship, or a personal goal, you should ask yourself, am I focusing on the effort or am I focusing on the outcome? You are only able to exert control over the effort that you put forth. Is that all to the universe? That is up to them. The fact that you have goals and dreams does not mean that you should not have them. Without a doubt, you ought to. What this means is that the key to achieving peace lies in the manner in which you pursue those objectives. Do you cling to them firmly, causing yourself to worry about every small aspect in the outcome? On the other hand, do you gently hold them while going about your business and allowing life to develop as it will? Once you have learned to let go of the demand for definite outcomes, you will start to enjoy the process of living, which is the beauty of uncertainty. As time goes on, you begin to have faith that everything is transpiring precisely as it was intended to. When you fully embody trust, it provides a sense of tranquility to your life, even in the most chaotic of situations. When you find yourself feeling overwhelmed by expectations, keep in mind the words of Marcus Aurelius: "You have control over your thoughts, not the events that occur outside of you." Your ideas, your actions, and your attitude are examples of things that you have the ability to control. Embrace impermanence. The famous Stoic philosopher Seneca frequently thought on the ephemeral quality of existence at various points in his life. His statement that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it is one of the most memorable phrases he has ever provided. Every once in a while, we tend to forget how short our time actually is. We allow ourselves to become engrossed in the present moment, concentrating on things that are beyond our ability to control and clinging to situations or emotions that we believe define who we are. On the other hand, the truth is that nothing is permanent. This concept of impermanence is not intended to make you feel down. Rather, it's intended to make you feel free. The things that you are clinging on to, such as stress, anger, and regret, suddenly don't appear to be as important if you fully understand that nothing is permanent. Their time will come as well, exactly the same as everything else. You begin to see that clinging to things that you are unable to control is one of the most inefficient ways to spend your valuable time. Once you embrace the impermanence of all things, it is not necessary for you to struggle through each passing moment or to cling to anything with all your might. Joy and grief are both ephemeral emotions that come and go. A magnificent freedom can be found within this impermanence. Marcus Aurelius was aware of this fact. According to what he wrote in Meditations, you could leave life right now. Let that be the deciding factor in all you do, say, and think. It is not a morbid concept, but rather a potent remembrance of something. The happy times and the bad times are not the only things that remain the same forever. Life is always going forward, and nothing stays the same forever. One might reduce the amount of importance they place on life by accepting the concept of impermanence. As you come to terms with the fact that everything is in motion and always changing, you start to let go of the impulse to exert control over everything. This is a waste of energy because it is a battle to hang on to things, whether it be a perfect moment or a flawless outcome. Rather than clinging to things, you should learn to appreciate them while they are still in your possession. For those of you who are going through a difficult moment, keep in mind that this too shall pass. Also, if you are experiencing a beautiful moment, you should be thankful for it, but you shouldn't strive to hold on to it for an eternity. It is the impermanence of life that is at the heart of its beauty. Things like transitory moments, transitions, and changes are where you'll find it. You create space for the next lovely moment to come into your life. When you let go of the idea of attempting to cling on to something that cannot be changed, keep in mind that everything is temporary. The calm that you seek can be found in that fact. Reframe your perspective. The Stoics held the belief that moving through life is analogous to climbing a mountain. While there are some paths that are uneven and steep, there are others that are easier but still full of obstacles. However, here is the secret. The path itself is not what defines your journey. Rather, it is how you navigate through it that sets you apart. Epictetus imparted to us the wisdom that what happens to you is not something that matters. What matters is how you react to it. In life, you will constantly be confronted with challenges, whether they come in the form of challenging people, unexpected failures, or events that appear unfair. What if you were able to view those difficulties differently? Imagine for a moment that you took the challenges you faced and reframed them as possibilities. Your thinking is the one thing that truly matters, and when you reframe your perspective, you take control of it. This way of thinking was referred to by the Stoics as the art of converting disadvantage into advantage. It is a better question to ask, what can I learn from this, rather than why is this happening to me? Just for a moment, let's pretend you're caught in traffic. You might feel frustrated or even angry at first, but that's just your initial reaction. What would happen, however, if you made use of that time to listen to a podcast that you have been meaning to check out? Or is it better to simply take a deep breath and exercise patience? Although you are unable to control the traffic, you do have the ability to control how you experience it. Marcus Aurelius frequently talked about the importance of seeing challenges as a natural part of the journey. As he put it, the obstacle that prevents action is the one that propels action. The obstacles that stand in the way end up becoming the path. Consider that for a moment. Exactly what you consider to be a challenge could turn out to be the same thing that propels you forward, that teaches you to be resilient, patient, or creative. This is an exercise for you to do. Take a moment to pause and ask yourself, how can I view this situation differently? Reframe this the next time you are confronted with a situation. No matter how big or small the issue may be, it points out an area where you have room for improvement. It is possible that it is enlightening you about aspects of yourself that you were previously unaware of. It could also be a gentle reminder to slow down and reevaluate the things that are most important to you. Your perspective is the most powerful instrument at your disposal. You will begin to view life not as something that is happening to you, but rather as something that is occurring for you. Once you have learned how to reframe the obstacles you face, it is possible for one alteration in mentality to change everything. Always keep in mind that every challenge is an opportunity to advance further. Even the most difficult path can lead to something spectacular if you have the appropriate perspective on it. Therefore, the next time life presents you with a challenging situation, the best course of action is to not simply react. Pause. Try rethinking and ask yourself, how might this contribute to my personal development? I say this because there are occasions when the most difficult ascent results in the most spectacular vista. Number 5, practice negative visualization. Despite the fact that it may appear paradoxical, one of the most effective Stoic practices is to visualize the worst possible outcome. Marcus Aurelius termed it premeditatio malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. The way it works is that you confront the idea of things going wrong head-on in your thoughts. Rather than avoiding the thought, you visualize difficulties or losses you might encounter, such as being fired from your job, being rejected, or even losing a person you care about. You might ask yourself, why would I want to dwell on such negative things? The Stoics were not about taking refuge in dread. The fact that you can imagine these possibilities allows you to accomplish two crucial things. First, you mentally and emotionally prepare yourself. If the worst does occur, it will not overwhelm you. You've already given it some thought and considered how you would react. Second, it helps you appreciate what you already have in your life. When you stop to consider the possibility of losing anything such as your loved ones, your home, or your health, you begin to realize how valuable those things are. Seneca phrased it eloquently when he said, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." The act of seeing difficulties does not make them materialize. Simply put, it helps you create resilience so that you are prepared for whatever comes your way. Putting this into practice can be done in a practical manner by setting aside some time every day to write down a what if. What would you do if you were fired the next day? What if a project that you care about was unsuccessful? What exactly would you do? Write down your ideas and make a plan for how you will react. While you practice this, you educate your mind to be flexible, inventive, and peaceful, even during stressful situations. The objective is not to develop a negative or scared outlook. Recognizing that life is unpredictable and being able to address that unpredictability with power and clarity are both essential. When you engage in negative imagery, you are not anticipating the worst. Rather, you are preparing yourself for the worst while also appreciating the present moment even more. Tonight, give this exercise a shot. This is the essence of resilience. Number 6, build a daily letting go practice. Reflection on a daily basis was a powerful tool according to Stoic philosophy. In his private writings, which we now refer to as meditations, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily of the fleeting nature of life and the advantages it granted. When you wake up in the morning, think about what a luxury it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, and to love. This is one of his most profound thoughts. By establishing a daily routine for letting go, you can free yourself from the load of things that weigh you down. To put it another way, think of it as clearing away emotional clutter. You make space for growth, thankfulness, and emotional calm. To get started, make it a habit to engage in self-reflection at the end of each day. Determine one item that you are prepared to let go of, whether it be a resentment, a fear, or even just an unhelpful thought that has been playing over and over in your mind. Keep a record of it. The topic at hand is not limited to writing. It is about recognizing what is preventing you from moving forward and making the decision to let go of it. This simple action will rewire your mind over time to concentrate on what is genuinely important: your peace, your progress, and your independence from unnecessary control. There are also other rituals some individuals find helpful. A brief meditation session in which you visualize yourself releasing stress with each breath might be more appealing to you. Alternatively, you may light a candle as a metaphor for letting go of something. The key is consistency, making this practice a daily habit. By grounding yourself, remember that letting go is not a one-time event but a recurring practice. When you make this a daily habit, you create a space where you can process, let go, and move forward with a lighter heart. Life will continue to present challenges. How you choose to respond to them is crucial. As the day draws to a close, now is the time to meditate. Pick up a pen or close your eyes. Give some thought to the things you wish to let go of, and then let them go. Letting go creates room for something more significant to come into your life. Let there be room for thankfulness, freedom to experience joy, and a place to take note of the insignificant details that contribute to the amazing nature of life. When was the last time you took a moment to pause and feel gratitude for the things that are all around you? A grin from a person who is well loved, the feeling of the sun's warmth on your face, or the sound of laughter reverberating in the distance. These are precious moments. To be able to live our lives to the fullest, these moments serve as a reminder of why we let go. Taking 5 minutes out of each day to concentrate on something good that is happening in your life is a technique that you can try. It doesn't have to be significant or profound in any way. The scent of your morning coffee, the way your favorite sweater feels on your skin, or the way the sunlight dances over your home could all be examples of this. The Stoics were aware that embracing life rather than trying to control it is the path to joy. They taught us to accept the world in its purest form and to appreciate it for that. Their term for this concept was amor fati, which literally translates to love of fate. Love of fate. It means finding beauty in all that occurs, regardless of whether it is good or terrible. The reality is that life is chaotic, unexpected, and not very long at all. If you are prepared to take the time to see it, however, it is also magnificent, startling, and full of moments that will leave you gasping for air. Consequently, today is the day to let go of the impulse to control every outcome. Instead, make room in your heart for the beauty that is already present. The joy of the process, the journey, and the little things is what makes life so enjoyable. It is not about achieving perfection. Letting go is not a one-time event. Rather, it is a practice that should be done every day. I hope that the Stoic knowledge is of assistance to you in the same way that it has been of assistance to me. The Stoics understood that true power originates from within. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who could benefit from these reminders. If it helped you gain clarity or peace of mind, there is a great deal more to discover on our adventure together. So make sure you don't forget to subscribe.